Hey, John from B2Web here. This is going to be a review of HeadWay themes, and I've installed it here, but if you need to install it, all you do is you go to your Appearance Themes, install it like you normally would, and you go to Install Themes, Upload, and then it'll step you through activating it to install very smoothly in my dashboard here, so I didn't have to go through my web host file manager. Alright, so starting point with HeadWay would be your options, and you have a tab section here. You're really not going to do much work here, but you can check out some of your site-wide options, including a tab up here for site-wide SEO. So you can set out your on-site SEO for your full website, including your home page here. What's kind of nice is you can actually change it for the different parts, like 404 tags and search pages and so forth, if you want to do that. Generally, you can do a favicon if you like and make a few changes about your HeadWay themes. I just kept everything at default at this point. The real nuts and bolts of this theme is in the visual editor. So just to sort of give you an idea of what I have right now, this is a prototype site I'm working on, and I have 4 posts. And I have a few pages set up. This is sort of a dummy page, page 3 there, and that's what we'll be working with in the site, and of course the home page. So going to the visual editor, and I'm just gonna, what I really like about HeadWay, this is really cool, is you basically can build your entire website, every different page and post. You can completely configure a unique layout with unique headers and so forth very easily without having to know any code. But what's really cool is there's other themes that do this, but what you do is you create different layouts, and then in the particular post or page layout, what you would do is there is usually like a box here, and it'll say you choose the layout you've created. So you make your layouts, and then you assign a layout to a particular post or page. Now, that's pretty cool, and it works really well. But HeadWay does it differently. Check this out. What you do is you have you can list all of your particular posts, and you go inside the visual editor and you configure each particular post the way you want to. You just click edit there, and it grinds. Sometimes it's a little bit of a delay here, and you can choose a grid, or you can use an empty grid and start just design from the ground up. Or you can clone an existing page. So if you have a template that you've already created for any particular post or page, you can just clone that, or assign a template. You can create templates from scratch. So that's all really cool. You can build really any configuration of a page that you want. But what I want to do is I want to go back to our, I called it the blog index page. It's essentially the home page. And I want to edit that. I'm going to show you how you can create unlimited different widget sections, change your headers around, and the whole 9 yards. This is really cool. So what we have here is we have blocks, and that's what HeadWay calls them, blocks. Look, I created this widget right here. I'll move that over, and you can see sort of the layout. It's 2-column right now. So I got my content, post 1, and then a side widget, and then we go down and we have a footer. And that's about it. But let's say I want another widget underneath here. All I do is move this stuff down. I mean, it's really truly drag and drop. And then and let's say I want a small widget. I just go right like this, and I choose what type of block we want a widget area. So now I have, you can change the size of it, move it around just like that. So now I have another widget area, and that'll show up in the widget panel. So just like that. And you can do the same with a content area. Let's say we wanted to add another content area. Just draw a box, and we call it content. There we go. So we build a home page just like that. So, you know, what I really like about this for a home page, you can create this really cool widget area and put in a slider or a slideshow. There's tons of widgets out there that you can use for free and create a home page with a slideshow. And what you could even do is you could create a completely widget-based home page really easily. So you could knock your content sections out and create nothing but widgets. And then your home page will be all widget sections, just like that. And then you could, that didn't stick. Got a little overlap problem. Alright. My only complaint is sometimes these things are a little sticky and it doesn't work as smoothly as you like, but fortunately it doesn't take long to redo it. You can see I'm getting this stickiness. Widget area. So we gotta do a little workaround. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. And of course you could make them equal width and so forth, so you'd have your sidebar here. And then you have your footer. Now if you wanted to create a widget footer, that's no problem. You would just create 3 widgets here that you could use and clone on every page of your website, and those would be footer widgets. So basically you can create and design your page any way you like. Check this out. You could create a whole other menu down here. We'll call it, so you can see you got a header, navigation, breadcrumbs, content, widget area, footer, media, and custom code. Custom code's kind of cool. You can put in whatever you want. Let's say we want another menu. Now right now, then what you can do is you can assign your menu in the custom menu section. Right now by default it goes to the same menu as we have here. But if you create a bunch of different menus, in the custom menus you can assign navigation number 16, it's called ID 16, to a different custom menu, and that's what will appear with those links in that menu bar. So it's really cool. We could also create navigation here as well. That's showing as a, we want to change that, so when you click that you're going to get we want vertical navigation. So you see what I did there was, when you want to edit or configure or do anything to a particular block, you click this, which shows the options for that block. And so what we wanted to do is we want to align it left but make it vertical rather than a horizontal. And that's how we do that. And so if you want to add content to that navigation bar, it just tells you right here, set up a menu for that and assign it in the menus bar. Always save the changes there. Saving's complete. So just like the navigation, you can configure your widget block areas, and you can change your widget layouts like that, and the content you're obviously going to add in the widget panel. But now, so once you have a layout done out for any particular page or post, and again I just want to show you this, this is really cool. Right now we're working on the home page, but if we wanted to work on a post, we would just go and select whichever post we wanted to and edit that. And so post 3, now we can choose from some preset layouts. We can use an empty grid and start from scratch. We can assign a pre-made template, or we can clone an existing page. I'll just go with a preset like that. And we want to obviously have the same header as the home page. I shouldn't say obviously, because a lot of cases you might not want to. We can do the same navigation for the different pages we've created. Let's go with that. We don't want to mirror the content. right sidebar will leave, and footer will, and then you finish. And so it'll set up our grid. And there we go, we could hide that so we get a full display. So you see this layout's different. We don't have that widget section there. We don't have that second navigation bar. We could certainly add that if we wanted to. It wouldn't be a problem. So this is what our post page will appear as. Now, a few issues that you might come into that can be a little bit confusing. First off, let's say you got a widget. Now, if you end up creating 20, 30 different widgets for different parts of your website, the ID is by default a number, and that's pretty difficult to keep track of. So you can actually change your name for that in this block alias right here. We could call this post widget left, and then save. The same thing is with the navigation bars. If you create a bunch of different menus, you might get confused just with the numbers, but what you could do is you can create custom. You could create an alias so that you can find it really easily, and we could call this top nav menu, and save that. So it makes it easier to find down the road. Saving's complete. Alright. So once you're in there, let's go back to our home page because we've got more elements there to play around with. Once you get your layout all set out and you've done your layouts for your posts, and again you can do it for pages as well. Let's say you want to customize the header. You go to the header options for this box, and you can choose an image for the header image. You can automatically resize and all of that. Another way to do this would be to go, you have the manage, you can change the settings for blocks and more, or you can basically design your entire page in the design panel, and it's all done in the visual editor as well. So we click that there and we'll get our editor out, structure. We want to go blocks. So now we're on the home page. We're going to edit or design our various blocks, and we want to start with the header. And we get all of these design options for the header. Now I'm not going to go through all the design options for all the parts of the website because there's tons, but essentially you can customize the background, the color, the image. If your image repeats, you're going to have to customize the repeat option there. And it goes down and down and down and down. And this is just for the header customization options. And with your content and your navigation menus and your footer and your widgets, you can fully customize every single block to make each block unique, or you can of course design it so that they will have a lot of the same elements for a universal design throughout your website. And what's really cool about this then is you can, because it's done in the visual editor here, you can preview it. Up at the top here you have a view site, and you can view your site and see how it looks. So remember, we don't have any content here because I stripped the content out of the home page and created widgets only, so that we could create a widget only home page, which is kind of cool if you want to create like a business website or something that's not going to show up like a blog style website. So we're back in the visual editor. Now let's say we want to create a new section. We just go down here and we create a box just like that, and we can call that another widget area, and then we'll customize that widget area with an alias, home bottom right, save that, and then you go to our widget section, and you'll see how all the widgets appear. Look at this, we've created a lot of widgets. We've got home bottom right there. Post widget left. And then there's a bunch of these that are just numbers. As you can see, it's really difficult to be able to tell which widgets these are if you keep them by numbers, so it helps a lot to give them a custom alias or a custom name. And then we had that slider widget for posts that we also created. There you go, and these are widget areas, and you slide your widgets, whatever you want, pages, text, images, the whole 9 yards, into your particular zones. If we go to the menus, you'll see the same thing. We have a lot of themes will only give you options for 1 or 2 navigation sections to link menus to, but you can create unlimited menus in the custom menus part of WordPress. And then what you do is, because we've created 4 different navigation sections, they're by numbers, we would want to custom name these. You can choose a particular menu for each of these navigation bars that show up in the various sections, pages, posts of the HeadWay themes grid layout. The final part of this HeadWay themes review overview I want to show you is the search engine optimization in a particular post. It loads with a full SEO panel option in each post and page, and that's down at the bottom. This is really cool actually, is it will show you what your post will appear as in the search engines. That's really helpful because you can see exactly, you know, at what point you're going to get these double lines, whether your title fits. I know you can go with a character count, but there's really no substitute for being able to actually see how it appears in the Google search engines. Put your meta title, meta description. You can no index, no follow, no archive. These posts, you can do a redirect. So it's a good robust SEO panel that I would certainly use. Wouldn't have to use a plugin. I particularly like how this shows up there. Other than that, you know, with HeadWay, essentially all you do is you don't have to choose any layouts or templates in the actual post and page editor itself. It's all done in your visual editor. So in theory, what you could do is you could write all the content and add all your pages and posts to your website, create your menus in terms of how you want to lay it out, and then go to work. You just go into your visual editor and you just start customizing each page, each post, your home page, and there you go. Now if you're going to use widgets, especially for a home page, a widgetized home page, you're going to definitely want to go into your widget panel and add that content in there. Otherwise you'll be scratching your head wondering why it doesn't show up. But you know, I'll end off with the design element is phenomenal. The design is really robust, and you can see immediately exactly how all your design changes are showing up in your website. You have full control. You don't have to know any CSS in order to design anything. So you can go into your structure, which is your body and your wrapper, to customize that, and then you can go into your various blocks on each particular post and page. So you can make each post and page look different or make them look the same, and it's just really powerful. So like for content, you can completely customize how your content's going to show up, from font, your titles, to your body text, to your hyperlinks, and all of that. And you can do all this without having to know any CSS. It's really powerful. This is a great theme framework for website designers or anybody who wants to basically design their own WordPress website out of the box, not really proficient with code. And even if you are good with code, this is a great solution because it's fast. I mean, you know, once you create a few templates that you like and you've got them all set up, bang, you can just go in there and clone the pages and post the way you want it. I hope you found this HeadWay Themes overview helpful. It didn't take me very long. I purchased this morning, and I had a pretty good understanding of how this whole thing worked within a few hours of tinkering. So, I'm at the point now that I could easily crank up great looking sites. Now, of course, design takes time, and you've got to come up with color schemes and a lot of your your graphics and all the rest of it. But once you have an understanding of this thing, building lots of great looking sites, or even one really great looking site, won't take you that long at all, and you have full control over your design and your layout and everything that you really want with a WordPress website.